Alright, hey guys, it's Mark from Soul Adventure. One thing I wanted to talk about real quick is I think something that bow hunters don't really practice a lot or don't really focus on, and that's timing. I know that for me, I sort of have found that I have my own natural rhythm when I shoot, so I draw, get my pin on target, make sure my anchor's good, my level's good, sort of go through my pre-shot routine. But as far as once I actually settle in, I've noticed that I have this, sort of default tendency, this default timing of when I execute a shot. And that may be fine when you're out here just, plopping arrows into the target, but I think we all know that in hunting, timing's everything. So you may end up, drawing on an animal. You may have plenty of time and not want to rush the shot, so you want to take your time. Conversely, there's times where an animal moves, you just don't necessarily want to be stuck in a default time of releasing a shot in a hunting situation. So there's two things that I've worked on to sort of, get over my default timing and to really focus on being able to patiently yet quickly execute a shot, and at the same time being able to hold it full draw comfortably on target and be ready to go, when the animal presents a great shot opportunity. So two drills. The first I call the pyramid drill. So the big idea for me with the pyramid drill is to basically, in the shape of a pyramid, I want to start by giving myself a short amount of time to execute a shot, and then gradually increase that and give myself further time, further. And I want to make myself wait till that point. So what this looks like for me is, let's say I'll do a pyramid drill for 10 shots. So on the first shot, I'm going to draw, going to anchor, going to go through all my pre-shot routine, and I want to fire in 2 seconds once I'm settled on target. I may bump that up to 4 seconds for the next shot, 6, 8, 10, what have you. What you'll find is 10 seconds doesn't sound like a long time at all, but when you're so used to your default tendency shooting at a certain moment, and again, you may not even be aware of this, you're going to want to release that arrow before you get to 10. Your internal sort of clock is going to say, okay, I'm on target now, my form's good, everything's fine, release that arrow. And so you're making yourself be patient, you're making yourself focus on the target, wait for a shot to present itself, or in this case, wait for a specific time, and then you release that shot. Then, so you work up and then you work your way back down. So basically what you do is you get comfortable shooting at all different sorts of timing intervals, working your way up and down. So the 2 seconds to 10 seconds is just an example. You may want to begin to stretch that a lot further. Like right now, hot summer nights, it's good to be out here practicing and focusing on being able to physically hold on target for a long time, because sometimes you have to wait for a shot for quite a while. So you may go from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 to start to doing 5, 10, 20, 30, what have you, and just working your way up. The idea is, again, to be comfortable shooting a shot and sort of overriding your default, oh crap, I'm on the target, let's shoot now because it's comfortable. So that's the pyramid drill. The second for me, and I've just started doing this recently and it's been really helpful, is basically to come up with a way to have a random timer. So I used to have one from shooting pistol stuff, and it'd fire off a random beep. I could sort of set the range and say, hey, let this go off between 4 seconds and 12 seconds, what have you. Or you can get an app for your smartphone. So basically the big idea here is you set a timer app with a certain range. You got to play with it, because you have to see, okay, I'm going to have to theoretically start my timer, on my phone, then I'm going to have to, get to full draw, anchor, what have you. So you may not want that timer going off, quicker than whatever, 6, 8 seconds, and you may want to stretch that out to something, you may want to start with like 20 seconds, but again, eventually take that out to 40. So you now have this random timer. You're not sure when the shot's going to go off or when the beep's going to go off, but when it does, you want to, as soon as possible, but without rushing, without flinching, without jerking, let off a shot. So again, the big idea, sort of similar to the pyramid drill, is that you come to full draw, you're patiently waiting, And when the shot opportunity, or in this case the timer, says to shoot, you shoot. Again, you want to do this not rushing. You want to practice in a way that, here's my shot opportunity, I've been at full draw, I'm completely comfortable on target, now let's release a nice clean shot. So again, it's not a race to say, oh, my timer went off, let me release it as fast as I can, because you're just going to be slinging arrows everywhere. So anyway, I think it's an interesting topic. I think it'd be interesting for you to play with. I think, it's something a lot of bow hunters don't ever really think about, but I think as you begin to play with these different timings and things like that, you're probably going to find that you have some sort of, internal rhythm, internal sort of default clock, an internal way that, as you're out here just practicing for practice sake, you probably shoot your shots with a very similar rhythm without even realizing that. So I think it's a good way to stretch, to move beyond that. And again, as you're waiting and you're extending those times, don't be lazy about it. Don't just be at full draw waiting for the timer. You shouldn't even be thinking about the timer. You shouldn't be thinking about time at all. You should be 100% focused on the target. And when that, the timer basically represents your shot opportunity. So it's interesting. I would encourage you to play with it. Heat of the summer, fall's almost here. Get out, get shooting. Season will be here before you know it.